I was born in the Hunan province of China, and when I was only 1 month old, I was left by a train station in a paper box. I was alone and nobody was with me and nobody cared. And someone found me and took me to an orphanage.
Chuck and I were married in '82, and then our son Brad was born in '84.
And a year and a half later, we lost a second son at birth. So we spent the next 16 years contemplating the idea of adoption.
We just had this feeling that our family wasn't complete.
So in 2000, we adopted our first daughter, Caitlin, and she's now 15. And then 3 years later, we just had it in our hearts that, God had a plan for another daughter in our lives. When we heard about all the baby girls in China who needed forever homes, God just said that's where you've got to be. And so we made plans, and God matched us up with Kenzie Grace Walker.
We fell in love the moment we saw her picture. We couldn't get there soon enough.
When we were working through an agency, and we were traveling with a group of 13 other couples from the States who were all going through the same process. And then literally the second day we were in China, we got our baby girls.
When we got home from China, just walked in the door, and we had a chime clock in our kitchen. And she heard the chime, and she walked up to it and looked at it and mimicked the sound exactly on pitch. Wherever we went, she would hum along with music. It became obvious that it was just a part of who she was. She would sing as she was playing. Even when friends were over, she would plan these elaborate programs, and she would give everyone parts and then come perform for us. It was a part of her everyday world.
I honestly don't remember a time I never sang. I started singing everywhere.
Mackenzie has gotten opportunity to sing really from the time she's been about 5 years old.
With this album and having a manager and getting to sing in really big places, I just kind of flashed back, and I remember when I was even 5 when I started voice lessons. I'm like, Mom, I want to be a famous singer.
The first time she walked out on that big field, and she was, 50 pounds, this tiny little girl, and my heart is pounding, it's overwhelming, and she walked out and just belted it.
This will actually be her third year to do the anthem at a Houston Astros game. She's singing such an incredible song in front of, this huge audience of, 40, 50,000 people. To hear that little voice just boom out over the loudspeakers, as a parent, you just can't help but your heart just swell.
It's really unbelievable. And I'm like, oh, I'm actually here. I'm not in a dream. This is for real.
That's a little overwhelming to a couple of parents. We're just a normal, family. To watch all those children gather around her and want their picture made, and just their smiling faces, and to watch Mackenzie, interacting with them. It's just so much fun. You can't get any better than that as a parent, observing that. Mackenzie can go out and help children and help, spread the love of Jesus throughout the world. It's not only what she wants to do and what we want for her, it's our obligation, it's our calling.
I work with a ministry called ICM, International Cooperating Ministries, and what I'm getting to do with them is help building an orphanage. I was an orphan, and now I have a family, and there are kids out there who are still an orphan and they don't have a family. I need to help them because God helped me, and through God I can help them.
This was just God's plan, that she started off in China for a reason. She was placed with us for a reason.
One of my favorite verses is Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope in the future. And that verse means so much to me because it's actually happening to me. God is with you, and He has a plan for every single one of you.
And it's so much bigger when it's God's plan.